In the Assyrian world, kings were born from bloodlines sharpened by war. Princes were raised with weapons in their hands, taught to kill before they learned mercy because mercy was weakness. But Ashurbanipal was different. While other royal sons trained beneath the sun, he sat in silence. Clay tablets replaced swords, ink replaced blood, words replaced muscle. He learned to read. In ancient Assyria, reading was dangerous. It gave power not to the strongest, but to the one who understood secret omens, prophecies. Forbidden histories whispered only to the gods. Ashurbanipal learned them all. He read the language of stars. He memorized prayers meant to summon protection, and curses meant to destroy cities. He studied illnesses, poisons, rituals, and ancient myths older than kingship itself. And somewhere in that knowledge, something changed inside him. Because knowledge does not make men kind, it makes them precise. When Ashurbanipal ascended the throne, the empire did not cheer. It watched, because a king who thinks is far more dangerous than a king who only kills. The Assyrian Empire was not held together by loyalty. It was held together by terror. Cities surrendered before Assyrian soldiers even arrived, not because they were weak, but because they remembered. They remembered what Assyria did to rebels. Walls lined with severed heads, bodies flayed and hung like banners, prisoners blinded so they could never fight again. Ashurbanipal did not invent this cruelty. He perfected it. He understood fear mathematically. How much pain was needed to prevent rebellion? How much horror would echo across generations? And he recorded everything, not in secret, in stone. He ordered artists to carve his punishments into palace walls so that ambassadors, visitors, and future enemies would see what awaited them. This was not madness. It was strategy. Ashurbanipal believed the human mind broke long before the body did, and he knew exactly how to break it. While blood soaked the empire, Ashurbanipal was building something else, a weapon more powerful than armies, a library. He commanded scribes to collect every piece of written knowledge in existence, not copies, originals, myths stolen from conquered temples, medical texts ripped from defeated cities, rituals so forbidden priests refused to speak them aloud. If a city refused to surrender its knowledge, it was erased. The library of Nineveh grew in silence, filled with tens of thousands of clay tablets. Some told stories, some told futures, some told how to speak to gods who should never be spoken to. Ashurbanipal read them all, and the more he learned, the more brutal he became, because knowledge revealed a terrifying truth. The gods did not save the weak, they favored the ruthless. Ashurbanipal's greatest enemy was not a foreign king, it was his own brother. Civil war split the empire open like a wound, and Ashurbanipal responded with absolute annihilation. Cities that supported his brother were destroyed so completely that archaeologists would later struggle to prove they ever existed. Survivors were punished publicly not to kill them, but to unmake them. Tongues cut so rebellion could not be spoken. Hands severed so weapons could not be held. Eyes destroyed so hope could not be seen. Ashurbanipal did not rush victory. He prolonged suffering, because suffering sends a message. When his brother was finally defeated, mercy was never considered. Ashurbanipal believed mercy weakened history. Despite his power, Ashurbanipal was afraid, terrified even. He believed the gods watched him constantly. Eclipses terrified him. Nightmares consumed him. Strange illnesses sent him into panic. He consulted omens obsessively. If the gods were angry, he punished others hoping their pain would distract divine wrath. This fear made him unpredictable, more violent, more cruel, because a ruler who fears punishment will create suffering elsewhere to avoid it. And slowly, the empire began to rot from within. Fear kept it standing, but fear cannot rule forever. When Ashurbanipal died, something unnatural happened. Nothing. No great successor rose. No ruler commanded the same fear. No mind matched his understanding. Within years, rebellions ignited. Cities once terrified now rebelled. The Assyrian Empire collapsed violently, its capital burned, its people slaughtered, its monuments smashed. Only one thing survived: the library. Buried beneath rubble, preserved by fire, the knowledge of a monster king who saved humanity's memory while destroying humanity itself. Ashurbanipal proved a final truth: intelligence does not save civilization, power does not create morality, and knowledge, in the wrong hands, can become the darkest weapon of all.